June 13th, 2019. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors are up by 3 in the third quarter against the Toronto Raptors. Golden State look to counter-attack, and as Klay Thompson drives to the basket, this happens. He's hurt, but at the time, not even he knew how hurt. He leaves the floor but limps back out onto the court to make 2 free throws. He even jogs a few steps. It turns out he tore his ACL, arguably the worst injury any athlete can face, and he's out for the entire next season. But he grinds, he goes straight into rehab, hundreds of days and nights in the gym on his own, thousands of repetitions to strengthen. It's insanely tough, but necessary, and it gets him back into shape. He starts practicing again and takes part in some scrimmages with teammates and other NBA stars the following summer. But during one of those scrimmages on the day of the 2020 NBA draft, Thompson tears his Achilles tendon. Again, it's one of the worst injuries a professional athlete can ever face. Back-to-back injuries means that Thompson misses back-to-back NBA seasons. But on January 10th, 2022, Thompson comes back. Known as Klay Day, he drew up 17 points on the Cleveland Cavaliers and shows plenty of glimpses of what made him one of the best players in the world. Injuries suck, but the physical pain of them is often outweighed by the mental pain they end up causing. So what can we all learn from someone like Klay Thompson? What can you do to mentally come back from injury? Let's find out. Injuries are possibly the worst thing an athlete can ever face because they literally prevent you from being able to practice or play your sport. They handcuff you to inactivity and end up leading to all kinds of negative feelings: anger, frustration, disbelief, fear, and deep sadness. And the first thing that helps any athlete mentally overcome a serious injury is to allow themselves to feel all of the emotions that it brings, because you will of course want to feel inspired, motivated, or dedicated to get back to your sport, but you also need to take time to feel the negative emotions. And the reason you should feel these negative emotions is because they're actually useful and helpful. They have an evolutionary basis to them. They encourage us to act in ways that boost our survival and allow us to grow as individuals. Anger compels us to fight our problems, and that anger can be used as fuel to get back into the gym and to get back stronger. Or the sadness felt can compel us to seek out support from other people and in turn actually strengthen our relationships with our loved ones. Thompson experienced this after his injury, saying in an interview with NBC that when you lean on your loved ones, lean on your friends, that's what really got me through it. It was that support that not only allowed him to take his mind away from all the pain, but also gave him the belief that he could come back stronger. So whatever you're feeling about your injury, realize those feelings are legitimate, but think about their true purpose and how they can be the comeback fuel that you're looking for. When it comes to being an athlete, those who truly love their sport are not just there to play, they're there to compete. They want to win and they want to test themselves against others. And when you're injured, that gets stolen from you. You get jealous of your teammates because they're not only playing, but they're also winning and competing against others. And this was the same for Klay Thompson. For much of his time spent out injured, he couldn't bring himself to attend Warrior games and sit on the sideline. That was just too painful and too infuriating. Despite wanting his team to win, he couldn't just sit there, restless, unable to contribute. And we saw this culminate in November 2021, when Klay sat courtside for 30 minutes after the end of his team's game with the Portland Trail Blazers. With a towel draped over his head, he sat there ruminating about the 2 years of his career he had lost. Despite being so close to his comeback, it was still painful to just sit there, inches from the court. But to overcome these feelings, Thompson apparently immersed himself into other activities. To fuel that competitive drive of his, he played video games and had other hobbies like swimming and boating around the bay. And that's something any injured athlete should do. Find ways to still maintain your sense of competitiveness, whether that's setting little goals, games, and targets within your rehab, playing card games with friends and family, or even just having a few guilt-free afternoons with a PlayStation controller. Having that opportunity to feel like a winner again will make the process of recovery so much smoother. Serious injuries also offer one major silver lining that anyone who's ever gone from one comes to realize, and that's the opportunity it allows you to reflect. When you're healthy, you're all systems go and constantly moving forward, but when you're injured, you're forced to stop, to look in the mirror and really get to know yourself. Thompson made no bones about how traumatic his injuries were, but he also admitted that they provided an opportunity for him to really learn how to stay mentally healthy. Warriors general manager Bob Myers revealed that after Thompson's surgery on his second injury, he was showing a different demeanor. Whilst visiting Thompson at his parents' place, Myers noted that Thompson showed a place of acceptance despite being immobilized and on crutches. To suffer a second serious injury would crush most people, but Thompson had done enough reflective work over the past year to know what it takes to come back. He knew himself better and that he could work harder than he ever had before due to the months and months of rehab done on his own. It was just a case of getting back to the drawing board and doing it all again. Facing such a career-changing injury forces you to reflect on the athlete you've become, and then the athlete you want to become moving forward. So it makes you think more carefully about the importance of recovery and conditioning work, diet, sleep, mindset, and so many other things. And in most cases, this leads to a much better approach to your sport when you get the chance to hit the court or field again. So as much as it sucks, use your time injured as an opportunity to reflect, to grow, and ultimately develop into a much better athlete in future.